if you're not a mango lover, you will be once you taste this cake. Triple mango fest going on right here today with mango cake layers, fresh mango compote for the filling, and mango buttercream to tie it all together. So hold on to your mangoes and let's get started right away on this one. It's another easy food processor cake mix method where I throw everything into the food processor and whiz it up. That everything would be flour, sugar, vegetable oil, plant milk, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and vanilla extract. Now for the mango, you can use fresh or frozen, but if you're using frozen, then be sure to defrost them before you start this cake recipe. And then you're going to whiz them up in a food processor to a smooth puree. And that's actually how this cake method was created. Since I had to puree my fruit and I didn't want to wash a zillion dishes, I decided to see what would happen if I just threw all the rest of the ingredients in to an already dirty food processor bowl. And voila, a star was born. And I am in love with this cake method, as you already know. Now, of course, you can puree your mango separately and then just whisk everything together in a large bowl if you don't have a large 14-cup capacity food processor like I have. Okay, into the greased and parchment lined cake pans. My oven is already preheated to 350 degrees. And today I'm making two thicker 7-inch layer cakes rather than the 3 layers like I usually do. I just like this kind of a cake to be more rustic looking with the 2 layers. All right, while the cakes are baking, I have more mangoes in a sauce pot with just a couple of tablespoons of sugar, and you can leave the sugar out altogether and then just get it to the stove to start to cook down. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes on medium to low heat, and then I like to use a stick blender to get it to a more sauce-like consistency. So just set that aside, let it cool. And now for what may actually be the star of this show. I decided to go lower sugar with the icing for this one and implement my apple buttercream recipe. Only instead of apples, I'm using more mango as the base for this custard buttercream. If you have not yet tried ermine buttercream, you need to as soon as possible. It is so delicious with natural sweetness and stability from the mango, made by cooking a custard base. And this is also known as a flour buttercream or an ermine buttercream. The result is a beautiful silky buttercream with less sugar than traditional. And this color is merely from the mango. No food coloring was added here. All right, so let's get this cake together so you can see just how easy it is now that I have all my recipes ready. I've trimmed the cake tops just to get them more even. And here's an old bakery trick. If you grab a cooling rack that has holes and not the grids, and smush that cake trimmings through, the result is gigantic fluffy cake crumbs that you can use for garnishes on all of your cakes and cupcakes. So I also want to point out another trick to make sure that your soft fillings don't squish out of your cakes after you've built them. By making a double buttercream dam, but also reinforcing it with a small bit of buttercream on the actual cake layer itself, and then using a small spatula, you can see that I'm sort of building up that foundation of buttercream, and this makes a perfect barrier to hold in any and all soft, squishy fillings that love to make their way to the outside of your cake. So yeah, let's just build away. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up on all the best professional vegan baking recipes. And it's all for free. But make no mistake, this effort costs me quite a lot of money monthly, and YouTube ad revenue is literally in the toilet. So to make sure that I can continue sharing, if you think you can join my amazing, lovely patrons on Patreon to offset the cost of ingredients that I usually test and sometimes test recipes again to make sure that you are all getting the best no-fail results every time. So if you think you can help for as little as a cup of coffee a month, click the links below to find out how. So what I found about this mango cake recipe in all my testings and trials is that the texture is that more like a pound cake than a loose and fluffy cake. And because mango is a very thick fruit with a high pectin, it's actually going to tighten up the crumb on this recipe naturally, which is why I don't use an egg replacer here. I do love the integrity of this cake though, because it makes for perfect carving and stacking due to its tighter texture and very low crumbage. Crumbage, is that a word? It is now. So it's still a super moist cake and it holds up really well to soft fillings like this fresh mango compote without making everything a soggy mess. And there we have it, the most mango cake I've ever tasted. This cake tastes more like a mango than a mango. I'm telling you, this is like holy focaccia. I can't even believe it's vegan. That's basically what everyone is going to say when you stuff their mouths full of this amazingness. So what are you waiting for? Go grab the recipes at Gretchen'sVeganBakery.com. And until next time, happy vegan baking. Bye for now.